Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my wrap-up for RYBSAT 4. I just finished my last book for RYBSAT, so I want to talk to you guys about how my week went and my reading went and if I achieved what I wanted to. I ended up reading 3 books for RYBSAT this round, which is what I wanted to do, but it wasn't the books necessarily that I wanted to read. Some of them were. One of them was unexpected. Yeah, so I was able to get through the majority of the books that I wanted to read for this RYBSAT. I wanted to read Snow Like Ashes, but I wasn't able to get to that this round. For those of you that don't know, I did start graduate school this week, and I wasn't sure how that was going to affect my reading and everything with RYBSAT, which is why I wanted to get as many books read as possible before grad school started, but that started on Tuesday, and it's a lot. And it threw me off for a couple of days, just kind of getting into the swing of things. For the next couple of weeks, I'll be getting into the swing of things and being back at school. I haven't been in school for a while, so it's a little weird. So I didn't read quite as much. I probably could have read 1 more, or if not 2 more books if I hadn't started grad school, but it cut out 2 whole days of doing anything reading related. So I didn't read as many as I hoped to, but I'm still happy with what I did get read. So since this wrap-up is so close to the end of the month wrap-up, I'm going to be going through these books fairly quickly, but more in-depth reviews and talks about this will be in my wrap-up, and I might be doing actual full-blown reviews for some of these books as well. The first book that I finished during RYBSAT was Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Shadow and Bone Grisha trilogy, and I loved it. I am buddy reading this whole series with Sarah Jane from The Book Life and Kristen from Cap89X, and we are loving it. It is so excellent. I will talk more about it later. But this book topped the first one. The first book was like a 4.5 stars for me. This was like a 50 out of... I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars for sure. I can't really go into detail about it, obviously, because it's the second book in the series. I will talk more about my feelings on it in a non-spoiler way during my wrap-up. So I started the readathon off with a bang with this one. The second book that I completed was Seraphina by Rachel Hartman, and this is a book that's been on my TBR for years. Misty of the Book Rat loves this book, and I love Misty, so I really wanted to read this because I totally trusted her opinion, and she didn't steer me wrong. This is definitely a very original book. I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to. I was warned ahead of time that this book is a little slow, and that is true. The first, I would say, half of the book is just a lot of world building and backstory, and it is very slow for a young adult book because they just tend to be faster. But I did like it a lot. I liked the world. It is very interesting, and the ending left me really wanting more. And I'm actually really thankful that I didn't read this book when it first came out, which was I think 2012, because the sequel is just coming out within the next few months. So I would have been dying. I would have been upset. So I really, really enjoyed this. Definitely a solid 4 stars, and I'll talk about it more at the end of the month wrap-up. And the last book that I completed for RYBSAT was The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, which is the first book in the trilogy. And I've had this book on my TBR for a while, and I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but I was left a little disappointed. I recently did a video on hype and disappointment, which I will link down below if you haven't seen it, and this is kind of what happened with this, I think. I've heard so many good things about it, and I was expecting so much more. I'm not sure what exactly I was expecting, but I just wanted a little more than what I got. So I ended up giving this book 3, maybe 3.5 stars. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it, and I was very neutral on pretty much the entire book, and it was also another very slow book. I just expect a little more action than what I got. I do plan on reading the rest of the series. I'm just not sure when I will get around to it because they're not high on my priority list right now. I'm not in any rush to grab the rest of them, and they're not on my shelf right now. I have not bought them. So I don't really plan on going out and buying books. I'm trying to limit my book buying for a series that I'm not super excited about right now, but I will finish it. For those of you that are fans of the series, I know there are many of you. I will be finishing it at some point. I'm just not sure when that will be. So I gave this, as I said, a solid 3.5 stars. So that is it for my wrap-up. Although I only read 3 books, I finished 1,371 pages. So I think that's pretty good. I am proud of myself. I got books off my TBR that have been there for a while, and I'm excited about it. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on all these books, as I've said a few times in this video, more of my thoughts will be in my wrap-up at the end of the month, so look out for that. So comment down below and let me know how you did with RYBSAT, if you participated, if you read more or less books than you thought you were going to, and which books you enjoyed the most. I would love to hear how your readathon experience went. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!